Okay, so my attempt at doing a non-Lego thing didn't work out because I don't have any glue and I needed some glue. See previous video and see future video where I get it correct. But, so, where I still want to do a video that I do something, so I'm going to continue with something Lego, and I got another one of these sets at a very cheap price. Sounds ridiculous. How does he get all these things at very cheap prices? Magic. I'm just really good at it. Right. So this one looks good. It's the green one. I think we had the yellow one last time. I don't know. I'm going to give you a little heads up. I've actually got all of them at all very good prices. Better prices than I bought the first one. So that was something. I'm going to have to undo that because I don't have any... I do have scissors. I'm making that up. Too late now. We're taking it off this way. Without ripping the cardboard. I saw somebody else complained about the plastic on these things, and apparently the jump cut. Apparently the Lego, these things are a different size bag and double bag because they're not made in China anymore, and they're made, I guess, back in Denmark, and they have different production things. So you learn something new every day, or at least I do, like once in a while. Right. And that can sit there. A lot of things. So this is the picture of the box. So have a good look. There's an alligator or a crocodile, and a little tractor, and a castle that's green, which is a new direction for Lego. They've gone with the grey castles and the bluey castles and the original yellow castles. So green's a good colour to have. I'm looking forward. They've had kind of orange ones if you count Chima things. They had like a deep red. Yeah, we need that. Probably on an evil person's one. And these are nice pieces. Look at that. That's a nice screen. Everything looks funny. Like I looked at a previous video, which is not on this channel. It's on the electronics channel, and I referred to a color as pink. I mean, it's red, but in fact, it looks very pink in the video. So this seems to be a different. I'm gonna look away for a second. Right. It's just a normal, like it looks so different to me. This looks like a slightly different green to what I've ever seen before. This is your standard green, and we've got the dark green. So, and then we've got the very dark green. So, I think Lego's well good at the different colors of green. But aren't they good at everything? Yes. All right. So we have like things, and they've got different page numbers on everything, and quite a few different languages. Which is neat. And look, it's still got this little thing where it tells you all about the I've got some of these wheels. I like these wheels. These were good wheels. Oh, and I found my Lego thing that I was going to bring out at some point, which is old Lego. So we'll have a go at that and have a look through that. But let's just get this thing done. Get this thing done. Whatever that means. And we'll dump there. So I'm just going to put them all in a big pile because it's not worth anything. So these are the light green ones, and these can go there, and these can go there. And where's that little smooth red bit? It looks a bit like a tongue for a dragon, but it's not a tongue for a dragon. It's a castle that we're building. It's got a little tiny door. So we have to build this, and then we have to try and build a model at the end that kind of is different, that uses these pieces. And then maybe at the end of the whole thing, I should get all 4 sets. There's 4 sets. There's like a pink one, a blue one, a yellow one, and this one, the green one, the famous green one that they've been talking about. It's all the rave on the streets at the moment. And make something else out of those, all of them together, just combined. Because I guess that's the point. But there's bigger sets as well, and I might get those once they become super cheap. So I'm just holding out for them to be super cheap. They will become super cheap. Alright, and this is the castle. Seems like a very, like it's a fiddly way of making it, right? Because these things they're very easy to knock over while you're building it. But I guess there's no other way. Well, wait a second. Like you could have put these pieces on first before you stuck the big door bit on, and then I don't know. I don't think it matters. This is fine. This is fine. Well, if you're doing this in the future, you could try it the other way. You put these on first and not the big bit. That feels slightly fiddly. And then you can write me a letter on a piece of paper and post it in the mail telling me how it went. And write, "Dear Matthew, it has been such a long time since I last wrote. The weather here is frightful, but I did manage to build the Lego set that you mentioned before in the way that you had hither described it. And it was delightful the way that you said, and I thank you for what you have done." Alright, or maybe you won't say that, I don't know. How do you talk? You might be like, "Oi, I did it. It's done. It's over." If you were sending a telegram as a hitman. Wait a second, that's the wrong colour. Then you say, "Oi, I did it. It's done. Stop. End message." I don't know. I've never sent a telegram. Has anyone sent a telegram anymore? Ooh, look, that's my fault. Yeah. Makes it feel like the power's going off, but the power's not going off. It will stay. This is okay. Again, I'm looking like I've done this, and then suddenly it looks like this because I'm looking the wrong way down the pages, and so I'm like, I haven't built it. Oh, it's all strange. But everything's going fine. And to be honest, if it wasn't going fine, I'd probably be a bit nervous because seriously, it's quite a simple build, but it's a fun little build. Like I wouldn't criticize this. It's just odd being green. But if you think about it, what other color? Like if you've got green, pink. Well, the pink one. I'm sure doesn't the pink one have like a castle or something? So castles are quite a common theme. Well, I like the little door. Does the door open? Please open. Please open. Oh, no, it falls out. Okay. I'm sure these things open. What have I done wrong? It actually does just fall out. Okay. That's strange. Alright, so there's the little castle. That's quite neat. Well, it's not really a castle because it's got like big holes here. It's like strange. It's like, why would you go through the door when you could just go through the sides? I'm just going to come in the giant windows. Alright. If I was going to go see whoever lives in this castle. Right, which I probably wouldn't, because look, okay, you got to combine the green and the yellow to get these ones. In fact, that's the one we did last time, so that's good. There's no castle on the red. Yeah, there's a windmill thing. So there's a windmill. All right, we're halfway through the book. We're at the halfway point. So I'm assuming the last model was real easy. It's just like 3 pieces stuck together, and they're like, well, I just gave up, and that's all we've got left. Because it doesn't look like there's that many pieces. So I am actually genuinely thinking that once this one is finished, the very last model, which I have very conveniently completely forgotten what it was. Well, it's not the alligator crocodile thing. Well, then my point was that it will. I don't know what my point was. I've forgotten what I was even saying. We're running out of pieces, and so that's a worry for us all. Oh, this is strange. This is not how I was expecting this was going to go. I just thought it was going to be a whole pile of teeth stuck together. So I'm kind of excited about this. So here are the teeth things, but aren't these... Oh, maybe these are the eyes, and then the teeth go on some other ways. There's a very short memory here. I was just staring at the picture. I knew what was happening, and now I've completely forgotten. Which is good. Because then there'll be no suspense in life. It will be just like you knew the ending of every film. Oh, I see. It just extends on. So we had started with the teeth, but we just hadn't finished with the teeth. So that makes sense. This makes me think of one of the Lego games thing. Like it's a Heroica. It's Heroica little hit point counter thing. Except they're red and they come in a line. But you know what I mean. Well, you might not know if you've never done any Heroica stuff. But I've got quite a few sets of that. I feel like I haven't never played it with all the sets combined, but I feel like you could have a pretty awesome game. Oh. Though I feel like the hit point system should be rearranged. And because in that thing, you know, a monster hits you and you lose a hit point or something. I can't remember how it works, but it feels like, you know, you should... Some of the harder monsters should take more hit points, but... I can't remember exactly what the harder monsters do. I think they require you have to throw a bigger dice or something. Bigger numbers. That's the outlaw. That actually looks. That was quite good because like it didn't look like anything, and then you turn it around and it does look like an alligator to me. I like that. I think that because I put the eyes in correctly. Like, definitely, this is just demanding. It's funny. Actually, it's like, well, they look so angry from this angle, and then they look like I'm so sad from that angle. I can't quite. Why is my skin? Oh, it's probably the sun. Everything's dry at the moment. All right. Well, what's that thing? Because that's kind of cute. And then they turn into that, and there's like a snail. I like the snail. And there's a little bird thing. That's like, oh, they're under the water. That's the most simplest model you can come up with. So I could just do this, and I could say it's mainly under the water, except this is white. They're under the snow. This is an alligator that's trapped under the snow. This thing here. But they're not. Alright, so we're going to build the tractor. So we do have enough pieces for the tractor. I feel confident that we're absolutely going to have all that we need. And this is definitely the set to go for if you like wheels, because it's got wheels in it. It's really good that way. I can't help myself. It's one of my flaws is that I always want to make a joke, a pun about wheels, but the best one you can really come up with is, well, it's really good, and it's not really even a pun. And then you could say, well, that's a pretty tired joke because there's tires, and then that's pretty much the other one that I can think of. Because I'm not very good at puns. It just feels like I always should say something when I say wheels, and that's just you know, it's depressing. That's just how it goes on. It just drags on like that. All right. And this one goes there. So we haven't really used the dark green ones. And so they're just basically coming in for the tractor. And then there's an awkward, wait a second. It's like they're on top of each other and they're not so strong because they're not overlapping. But that's okay. We can do this for one little bit. And this is like the old school window style. When I grew up, of course, this is how cars were all built with these bricks here, these particular ones. So, you know, I like these. And I always like the way they've got that sort of rough texture on the front. Which doesn't really seem to make sense. Because who drives cars? Like, if they were mainly used for cars, well, you don't have a rough like texture on the front of your car. So why do they? I don't know. I guess it looks probably because they did it with a smooth one and it looked like rubbish. And like, well, we'll just make it rough. And then no one will notice. I put the wheels on. You see, you always do that, don't you? You just like, you cannot help. It's impossible to resist just putting the wheels on before they have actually asked for it. And these tires have changed over the years. I feel they have. So I remember these little tiny ones. The grooves were more sharper. Like, this is nowhere near it. It doesn't feel as sharp as the ones I had when I was a kid, which I would chew on in my mouth, which is why I know them so well. These ones I didn't have when I was a kid, and as opposed to a non-kid. But these ones they certainly did, but they might have been on little metal axles. But well, I definitely had these sort with you clip on, but they seem to have changed the tires over the years, which is fair enough. These tires probably have better grip, or less grip and better drift, if that's the correct term. Because I like to do my drifting in my tractor. I can't do it on the paper. Alright. So times two moment. And that's it. We have one more piece to put on. That's right, the little eye. So we've got a spare eye. We haven't got many spare pieces in this set, so it fails on the spare piece count. Because we've got a spare wheel. I've never ever had a spare wheel axle. Is that really, like, who loses this piece? Like, once you've put it on the wheel, like, you're never going to lose just that. You're going to lose that and the tire. So they might as well have given you an extra wheel. Because let's say, like, that small amount of time between you getting the set opening the box, and actually putting the tire on, there must be some sort of, like, what's the probability of you actually losing it? I guess, I don't know, if you're maybe like a 6-year-old kid. Apparently this is from 4 to 99. So if you're a 4-year-old kid, you probably lose these or eat them before you've managed to put the tires on, and so that's why they put this thing in. Because otherwise, I don't see the point. Because you're never gonna lose. You never lose that. You just keep it on the thing all the time, unless you're a kid and you're like, eh. They're actually quite hard to take off, aren't they? Eh. Right. So you're not doing that. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. But having said that, maybe you do that. Maybe you just can't stop yourself. You're like, I must do it over and over again. Which is not something you should mock, because maybe that's something that helps you relax, and that's fine. But the point is, if you did that, maybe you'd wear it down, and then you need a replacement. So this is not for when you lose it. It's for when you really destroy this thing by your weird compulsion to take it apart and put it back in there. It's not as satisfying as other clicking sounds that I've heard with Lego pieces or things in general. So I personally wouldn't do that. I want that satisfying click. So it doesn't work for me. My point is, I don't think I'll ever use that. It's just never going to happen. But should I put it there? It's going there now. It's definitely terrifying. Alright, so thanks for that. That was all we have to. How much time have we got? We've got a little bit of time. Well, we haven't really. Let's make something really quick. So here are my inspirations. Again, these are rubbish inspirations. You're going to build a bird. You might be able to pull that one off. But an apple? Are you serious? Are you absolutely serious? A tree? Well, I made a lot of trees out of things, so we might just make a tree. And a frog. Alright, frog time. We'll make a frog. They're going to dare us to make a frog. Well, we can do a frog. I can do a frog. These are hard to get off. I did bring the tool up, didn't I? I honestly swear that I bought a little brick tool and I put it somewhere and it's gone. Not that we need a brick tool, that's not going to be any good for that, but it just feels like I should have had it on the desk somewhere. It should be always on the desk. I'm supposed to cover this desk in hooks soon, so they can hook things on and the whole place will be stuck up with hooks. Alright, so and then everything will be good. Right now there's one hook and it's just not enough. You need more hooks in life. And I feel like hook is the kind of word that will not come across in a video. People will be like, what did he just say? Just if you can't understand my accent. Or you don't understand where my accent comes from. You're like, what? Where does this guy come from? He must come from Europe somewhere. I've had people say that, so that's okay. Right. Oh, for goodness sakes. Looking at a frog. Well, we need this as the body for a frog. I feel like we're going to have the legs somewhere. So these are probably going to have to be the froggy legs. We haven't really got anything else to use. It has to be something symmetrical. We've got 4 of those. So, well, we could make it like that. That's probably a good idea. We'll put those two together. And then we've got like a frog. And then we have to have something on the side. This is not, well, we can have a light bit in the front and that will look cute. And we're kind of running out of pieces. Well, they can be a multi-textured frog. And this is not going to look like a frog. This is not going to look anything like a frog. We don't need the red pieces. And when we can have these are their froggy side arms. Come on, they don't give you a lot of pieces to make. This is my froggy side arms. Which makes them sound like they're in the military. Because they've got side arms. And that's another use of that word. But they're not. They're not a military frog. They are in fact a pacifist frog who seeks only for the world to be in harmony with itself and all other creatures. Especially the frogs. Don't forget the frogs. So how are we going to make a face? That's not going to look like a frog. Alright, well we don't need this piece. This big piece. But we do need like a little neck. So this can be their neck. I don't know why they need a neck. And then that could be... That's terrible. That's not going to look like a frog. That's a rubbish way of doing things. Absolute rubbish. And, well, they can have that. Maybe that should have gone behind the back. And well, once I put the eyes on, this is just gonna be awesome. Oh wait, we could use the red. Well, they got to look like a happy frog. Because happy frog is the way to go. We need happy frogs in life. It looks very angry from my point of view, but hopefully that's just a terrible way of doing things. All right, We don't have any more teeth. That doesn't matter. Oh, we do have. We used up all the teeth. Well, we don't need this piece here. Alright, I feel bad. I should not have used my fingernails for that. Well, this can be my support. And then that can go there. And for some reason, they can have a green bit there. And then they can have this green bit there. And then a little red thing is their tongue, because frogs have red tongues. So that's my frog. That's a pretty good frog, if I say so myself. We don't need the wheels, so we haven't used all the pieces. And this is their frog tail, which is their side frog tail. No, we can't have a side. Oh my goodness, we forgot all about the castle. Oh, wait. Oh, I just pulled apart two things and not the castle. So that really ruins everything. I thought there were more pieces. Well, they don't have teeth, so we can get rid of the teeth. Well, some frogs do have teeth, don't they? I don't know. I've never seen one at the dentist, so I'm assuming. Well, they might just have different appointment times. Right. And do we need any of these? Is there anything else here that I think could we use? Well, we could try and get rid of this, and make the arms look a little bit. The side arms look a little bit more frog-like. Oh, I guess. I think we ought to try. So we'll do that. I feel like I should not try and do any kind of impersonation of any kind of accent, because you'll offend someone. Right. Or they'll make them go, ugh, or they'll cringe. Alright, does that look like a frog? It does not look like a frog. But you know what? That's what you're going to get. There's a frog. And it's going to go doink, doink. Oh, wait a second. Don't you leave. Don't you leave yet. Because, you know what a frog needs? That's right, Netflix. But other than that, they need... I don't know if they need that. Who needs Netflix? I don't. I don't have Netflix. I just wish that they let you pay for like a show so that you could watch it and then not have a subscription. Because I really don't want to get distracted by watching... There's a lot of TV shows to watch, right? And so I don't want to get distracted. So that's why I don't have Netflix. But when the next season... There's a lily pad. That's what I was going to get to. A lily pad. When the next season of Stranger Things comes out, I'll get a month subscription and watch all the things that I wanted to get around to watching, and then I'll cancel my subscription. Which is exactly what I did last time. Alright, there you go. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.